Okay, so that's the center. And with the bricks, we'll start in the center.
Work out.
And then work outwards.
Yeah.
And we just
So we would just take
bring a load
any
of
of them
them over.
really. So remember, we're starting at the center, and the center will be in the middle of the brick,
Actually-
between two bricks. Okay, the orientation is about right. Well, okay. Now the way you join them is you don't want a gap between them. And the danger is if you just put them there and shove them one next to the other, you'll have sand in between. Okay, I'll just show you how the way. You just approach them like this,
Just touch them lightly off each other.
and then you sink them down. Okay? So. You know, the general sense of where we are in terms of light coming through. So I'm noticing that all in all, this is there's a dip there. This one forward.
Yeah.
The rest is not too bad actually.
Yeah.
So we'd
It's that
probably
brick there, yeah.
So, and it's the kind of dip that we'd tolerate.
Yeah.
If it were the other way around, we'd
Yeah.
try to knock it back. So if we knock it back, we try to not knock it back too much.
Yeah.
If we take this side,
It's a dip in the middle brick.
that's a lot lower than that one.
Mm.
But
Or in
that's-
other words,
that's
this
that
is,
one's high.
this is high and this is high.
Yeah.
So we're going to knock these two.
And this one's high as well. This one's high relative to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we look
Well, I
here.
just need to. I'd say the edge goes down here.
So
Yeah.
what's the highest point at the moment?
So I think this one is needs to come down, and this one.
Okay. So
Yeah. And now the way to do it is not the way you would use a hammer,
definitely don't use the metal, basically.
but you use the handle. So it goes down rather quickly.
Yeah, so more on this side here and next corner. This corner here, yeah, that's the one. That's pretty good now.
Yeah. What you want to avoid is, you know, there's kind of semi-soft
Yeah.
dough
Yeah.
getting stuck on it and then
Yeah.
creating a
Rips and
Yeah.
Okay, the one,
So this one.
that one.
you might as well get this row
Again, this corner.
right.
And this lip, this side.
Yeah.
That's getting there now.
It's often good to follow a principle of worst first. So if there's one that's kind of way higher,
And the problem is if I'm bringing it too much, then it comes
So
on
this
here.
side
yeah,
here.
but that's all right. We can fix that.
It's in this corner, you want to get that side down.
There's a piece of string and a piece of chalk to mark the radius of the circle. Okay, now just check 34.5. And we said that the center is here. So it should take us just to the edge. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it should hit on all those circles.
It should actually, yeah. So we want to go up straight first, and then we're counting the radius up. So we have 30.
So are you making it a sphere, a hemisphere, is it? Exact.
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
On top of the 10 centimeter edge.
Just stick the board into it. It won't hammer.
Okay. Yeah. So we want to go up vertical for 10 centimeters. This is exactly 10 centimeters.
Yes.
Yeah. So once we have this sand mold built and the cob oven around it, we've cut an opening, and there have been studies done on old ovens. I think one specific study from hundreds of ovens in Canada, and they found that the ones that were working best all had the height about 63% of the final height, around 2/3. And if they're bigger, they lose too much heat, and if they're smaller, they don't draw enough air for the heat. So between those, there is an ideal height and size of the opening. A bit higher, yeah. Maybe 3. Yeah, we'll go with that. And what happens then is where we go.
Yeah, that side hasn't been smoothed much yet.
The plastic layer stops the sand from sticking onto the layer of cob. So that when the next layer is built, we'll cut an opening and we can scrape out the sand, and it will come out together with the plastic.
Ah, yeah. You'll move. He knows what's this one.
Intensely on mixing it really evenly. This is a mix where there's a minimum of clay. This mix of several parts sand, so say 5 or 6 parts sand to 1 part clay, is more fire resistant than the ordinary cob, because the sand is basically silica, resists the fire very well, and cob has less silica in it, has more other particles from the soil, and probably resists the fire less, or a lesser amount of time. So this will last longer in contact with the fire. You might have sand that, you know, where the distribution of the particle sizes, it's more grit than sand, then it's harder to glue it together. So you'd need a bit more clay for that. So it's the ratio could be 1 to 5, 1 to 6, maybe even 1 to 7. So it depends a little. So from the last few ovens that we built, we took a guess at 1 to 5.5. That's what we did here.
And that's good enough mix-wise?
I think so.
Yeah.
Can't see any white patches anymore. This is a test for the fire-cob. I'm forming a little ball, palm size. Press it together as hard as I can. I want it to stick, and I want it to hold the shape when I exert a little bit of pressure. So if I do this, yeah.
Any cob walls, these in particular, is don't round the corners. You want to want to make your corners quite solid and strong. Whereas, so if you're using the hand you're using to stabilize, to do this as well, then the next layer is going to, so just for example, if I do this, and then I put the next layer on there,
This is how not to do it.
then it's gonna, like if I push down, it's just gonna slide off. Actually, we're keeping this flat. Yeah. What we actually want to do is keep the angle following the dome as we're going up. So we're not working to keep this flat. We're working to keep this like.
We have to know if we pass our pen.
Yeah. We're heading up the dome. So what we actually want is a shape a bit like this, compared with the shape there. It's kind of flat and almost sloping down. So as we're going up, just keep that in mind.
If you're adding fresh mix to something that you've left for a few hours or days, which isn't really relevant now, but if it was, then you'd have to wet it. And depending how dry it is, you'd go at it with a mister or with more water, so that you want to reactivate this clay to bind properly with the fresh stuff. So yeah, feel free to.
Right.
Alien looks like something. Yeah.
Like with the mold before, we're actually just going to go over it and compress it more to make it more solid, and to just smooth it off and get any cracks that were starting to form in there, just to nip them in the bud and make it all one solid structure.
Should we leave it?
But it's actually not too bad. It's a bit worse up here.
Yeah.
But it's,
So I think
feel.
for the sake of this softness here, I'm happy enough with the outline now,
Yeah.
and we'll just cop up to it
Yeah.
and give this the benefit of
Time to-
of some more time to dry.
Yeah.